G'day, and welcome to Say It With Guitars. I'm your host, Pete Cornelius. Each episode, I'll be digging deep and getting to hang with some of Australia's finest guitar pickers, songwriters, producers, collectors, and makers. I look forward to bringing you these fun conversations, and I hope you enjoy Say It With Guitars.
G'day there, guys. Thanks for joining us for another episode of the pod. Today's chat is with the one and only Frank Sultana. We had a pretty good little chat here. I enjoyed listening back to it today on the edit. Yeah, we sort of reached some pretty nice places, I think, in terms of conversation and, got below the surface of just the regular kind of thing. So, yeah, I enjoyed that. Hope you guys do too. What's going on? Playing this Saturday night down at the Republic Bar, the Hobart Blues Club are putting on their Cool August Blues annual event, and the one and only Ian Collard, great, fantastic harmonica player from Melbourne's coming down, and we're going to join forces, folks. We're going to hang out and we're going to play some tunes, so it's going to be a blast, and I'll always look forward to playing with Ian. We've been doing it off and on for the last, little while. He appeared on one of my records years ago, and we struck up a good relationship, and we both appreciate the same kind of blues. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoy the chat with Frank. I sure did, and I'll see you for the next pod. Before we crack into today's show, I'd love to shout out to our Season 4 sponsors, Tarrant Guitars and Top Shelf Guitars. The custom workshop of award-winning luthier Billy Tarrant on the northwest coast of Tasmania uses locally and internationally sourced solid tone woods to create a wide range of custom guitars, including acoustic, electric, lap steel guitars and specialty instruments, showcasing his passion for superior tone and structural integrity. Tassie's one-stop custom workshop for custom-made guitars, all guitar repairs and services. Check out tarrantguitars.net.au. Top Shelf Instruments specialises in used and vintage guitars, pedals and amps, shipping worldwide from Hobart, Tasmania, Australia. We love helping players land exceptional instruments for manageable dollars, and guitars from Japan hold a special place in our hearts. New old guitars hit the website almost daily, so head on over to the website for this week's weird and wonderful offerings, topshelfinstruments.com.au. Cool. Going to crack in?
Yeah.
Good go? Yeah. All right. I'd like to welcome to today's conversation, State with Guitars, Frank Sultana. Frank, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Pete.
Welcome to my view.
Yeah, not a bad office. Not a bad
Good office for today.
It is.
We're at Blues on Broadbeach. You've done a couple of these over the years?
Yeah, this is, I think, 4th or 5th one.
Yeah.
Yeah, had a miss last year, had a break last year, but I've done the last few, yeah.
Great. You've been a busy man. You've been all
good.
over the place.
It's been good. The last couple of years has been a bit crazy, but it's been great.
Yeah.
Really great, yeah.
By design?
I guess so.
Yeah.
No, I guess I didn't really know what was going to come of the whole Memphis thing. Like, I remember the whole, that first few days after the win, and, like messages and emails and phone calls, and it was like, I thought, okay, I guess it's going to draw a fair bit of attention. But it's been nothing but positive, man, like it's been really good.
Great.
Yeah, like work-wise, it's been great, but just, I don't know, just community-wise with the blues community, it's been a really positive thing,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And did I guess going into those sort of events, you don't know, like it's one of those, you don't know.
Absolutely.
You could be ditched out in the first round, or you make it through and you get all the high fives at the end. And
exactly.
So did that change the way that not only you look at touring here in Australia, but like, are you visiting America a bit more, or?
Yeah. So part of the prize package for the challenge was to be invited back to play some festivals.
Great.
So I've done 4 trips to the States in the last 2.5 years.
Wow.
And played, festivals in Vegas, Colorado, Florida. and then played gigs in Memphis, gigs in Clarksdale, Mississippi. So it's been great. And I think it's one of those weird things too with the Memphis Blues Foundation, because they run it. It's like you sort of a part of that family for life now.
Yep.
Like, and it's real. That's what I mean. I guess what I said before, like that community, sense of community, not just here. But I've made lots of really good friends. I don't like, they're contacts, but they're not really contacts. They're friends. Like they're people that I know that I'll know for the rest of my life. And when I went back this year, so they invited me back to judge the final this year.
Wow.
So I went back in January, and it was just so nice. Like just to around Memphis for that week. You know that you're a part of that thing for the rest of your life. So it's a really nice feeling.
That's really neat. Yeah, and I think that sense of community is really important within.
So important.
Within any, I wouldn't say just musical genres, but within any part of your life.
Everything, man. Yeah.
Like it's such a deep thing we don't get from our phone.
Mm-hmm. and it's right. Life has generally drifted away from a lot of that, and so it's almost more precious now and more important now. And I mean, even on every level. Like I've been living down the coast for the last 7 or 8 years. I've just moved back to Sydney actually, but I was living down the coast, and like the community down there, as far as food and arts and everything, is centred around the town. So you literally buy your veggies from the local market. It's been grown by a guy that lives 20 minutes away. And it's just really great. And you're doing gigs with local players, and you're supporting a painter or a sculptor or something one week at an exhibition, and it's just. You forget about the bigger picture, and I think that's so important, man.
Yeah, and it feels good. Like you go to the local, like you said, you support the local industry because they'll in turn support what you do,
Absolutely,
and the whole thing
man.
just buzzes.
It does.
It's a good little.
Does. I mean, Kiama was so good to me, man. Like when I won, I was living in Kiama. I'd been living there for quite a few years, and they really just took it and loved it, And so every show I've done there has just been great. The turnouts are always great. The walking around town is just, everybody's buzzing about stuff. And it's not just me. There's, other people that are doing good things, and the whole community just really rallies behind everybody, And it's a nice feeling, man. I feel like the social media support is good, but it rings a little hollow.
Yeah.
Whereas when it's real people, and it's daily and it's part of your community, I just think it holds more weight.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just, it's real. It's real. It's just real. It's just like honest, and people probably don't give a shit who Frank Sultana is when he's on stage. Like,
right?
A lot of it will be that. Like, it'll be like, oh, Frank, how you doing? Like, like how's life? Not just the stardom or the kind of Facebook profile that you might be presenting. It's like the Frank that goes below or deeper than the...
Well, and that in itself is a weird balancing act, because we are trying to get people to listen to us and follow us and like us, right? But then at the same time, it's so refreshing to have conversation with people that isn't about music.
That's great.
So, you know what I mean? Like, and that is something that you just balance as an artist, I think,
Yeah. What do you do? Like, obviously, I think music's full-time for you now.
It is.
It's probably actually been full-time for a long time, right?
So I quit 9 to 5 in 2018.
Okay.
Yeah, and before that I was doing, over 100 shows a year and working a full-time job since about 2011.
Yeah.
So it's been full-time completely for the last sort of 6-7 years now.
Yep. What fills your day up if you're not on a computer or booking shows or got your head in music? Like, do you have any other outlets? Like, we were talking about stuff just then about having conversations with people that aren't music based. Like, do you have anything else that you can sort of get your mind away from all that?
When I was living down the coast, I think the place itself became that for me. So going to the beach every day, swimming in the ocean every day, walking, that kind of became my escape from the work. But I will say, and I mean, you'd know this too, it occupies pretty much all of your time. And the playing is the smallest part.
Yeah.
So, I try to balance it by just sort of going, okay, I'm not working this afternoon. and I'm going to go for a walk, I'm going to go for a swim, I'm going to whatever, go visit a friend, go have a drink with someone, just, do something outside of that. But it's hard to, man. Like it's, and I'm one of these people once, if there's correspondence back and forth, I like to just get on it and do it then and there. It's less likely that it'll get lost that way. And so I tend to be sort of, there's no set time. I really respect people who can go, okay, even though I work for myself and I work from home, I work from this hour to this hour. I just can't do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, if I get an email from overseas at 11 o'clock at night, I'm the type that'll just respond at 11 o'clock at night. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's a hard one. I think that balance is the hardest part of it, to be honest.
It's a real challenge.
Yeah, it is.
I find it challenging because, I've got 3 small humans to grow and nourish and to look after, and a wife and a relationship to try and also living on property as well. We just done some clearing. We put a new fence in like the last few weeks. So, and just stuff like that. So maintaining that drive and passion and productivity within music, I really need the other stuff. Because if I'm just like pushing the barrow the whole time, it just feels a bit me, or I don't quite get the inspiration from stuff.
You can, man.
So I really thrive for that other side of life to really get perspective.
Yeah, because it is a business, man, and yet none of us, well, for the most part, we're not really business people. We're artists, right? Yeah. And so that balance is really interesting, But I get a bit of a kick out of the hustle.
Okay.
Yeah, like I don't know, I've grown to really enjoy it. Like I've had agents and bookers and managers over the years, and I just end up doing it myself.
Sure.
I actually enjoy it. I love the idea of having a spark of an idea. It's just like writing songs for me. Like the spark of an idea for a bill of artists and a theme or something, and then spending the next couple of days making it all kind of connect, and then sitting back a week later and going, that's in, it's booked, it's done, it's ready to roll. Like that's satisfying.
Yeah.
I really enjoy that, you know, so I think that's become this bigger part of it for me. I do all my own like artwork, like I just really enjoy it.
Yeah.
I really enjoy it, and it's the same idea as writing a song for me. And I think because, and it's funny because this conversation comes up a bit with songwriters, is when do you write? Are you one of these people that writes all the time? Do you write specifically? And I've always been someone who won't write anything for 6 months and then write an album's worth of stuff in 3 or 4 weeks.
Yes.
And so I think that downtime is filled for me with the admin work and the booking work and the artwork and everything else. Yeah, I'm not the sort of person that is always jotting down ideas. I more or less work sort of backwards from a theme. That's a cool idea. Let's write some songs about that, and then I'll spend the next month writing songs about that, you know.
I got moonlight at my feet, and the one who wrote the fable is the one that I want to meet. Well, it's 1 in the morning lately, and I still can't get no sleep, 'cause that's the thing that keeps me up now. Oh, that's the one that I want to keep. Oh, mama, don't you bring my blue skies down.
find that once you're in that zone of writing songs, it's so hard to escape it.
Yeah, it is.
You can't get it out of your head.
Yeah, that's right. I don't know how I'd be. Like, I know some people who are just like that all the time.
Oh.
No, I don't know if I could deal with that, man. Like, that would be hard.
That would be so hard to actually live outside of that, like to actually have a normal, so-called normal life outside of a songwriter.
Because you know what it's like. Like, it's hard to distract yourself away from moments where you're getting an idea or it's flowing.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing, like, especially with lyrics, like musically, I find things flow pretty easily most of the time. And I noodle about at home every day.
Great.
But lyrics, it's just, I have to have an idea and a theme or something happens that I see that inspires an idea, and then I'll write.
Yeah.
And there'll be times where you'll write 10 pages of things in like half an hour, you know, of which you might use a third of it, but it flows, you know what I mean? And no one gets my attention for that half an hour, you know what I mean? Yeah,
you got to do it, and you can't be too critical at that point either. I've found, like, you can't interrupt that flow. No. Like, as soon as you start editing while you write, like, I think that's such a bad trap. Like, just get it out, come back in a week or whatever, and with fresh ears or fresh eyes.
Yeah, definitely, man. Because you can't disrupt the flow, and then that critical thinking isn't what is inspiring that moment. Yeah. Whereas when you look back on something with a bit of time, a week, 2 weeks, whatever it might be, you kind of go, well, you can really, the magical lines jump out at you. Yeah. And you kind of go, okay, well, the rest is kind of fodder, you know. And I tend to just have stuff, I call it like a little spare parts bin, you know. Yeah. And some lines may not work for a particular song, but then 6 months later you're working on something and you go, actually, that phrase will work for this. And so I kind of pinch and grab from different ideas that I've had, you know.
Great. So you're up here with the band, but you're also playing some solo shows. We're just talking off mic how that's like the ultimate scenario. If you can get the band up here for a couple of dates, do some solo shows on each side of the band shows.
Yeah.
You know, the audience not only gets to see both sides of what you do, but you get to fulfill the freedom of playing on your own and that creative space to just go wherever you feel like it. Whereas with the band, there's a bit more structure, there's a bit more, you know, it's 3 or 4 personalities, maybe 5 to weave.
Yes.
But you get to have the interaction and the fun with the guys up here as well. Like, what does that look like? What does like that preparation look like for you? Like, are you a set list guy, or are you like working on like how does that look for you? Like in terms of preparing for both of those shows?
I'm not a set list person. Occasionally, I'll do a set list, but it's rare.
Yeah.
So what I've normally got is like just a master set list.
Yeah.
And it just sort of flows, and every sort of 2 or 3, over a period of 2 or 3 years, songs come in and out of that master set list. But I'm just thinking what the next song's going to be as I get to the end of the song I'm playing, really. Yeah. And I've normally got a master list down on the floor, and depending on, like, if it's a newer song, I'll have some lyrics spread out on the floor, you know?
Yeah.
No, not set list. And also, even though it's a band, I've always been really into the jam band idea. And so whilst we're a pretty well-oiled thing now, and I mean, you know, from 2011 to 2018, I had pretty much the same lineup. And then 2018, I dropped the band completely and had pickup players for the next sort of 4 years. Mm-hmm. Anywhere from, you know, Tassie to Queensland. And so that I learnt, I think, how to be a band leader over those 4 years in a different way, in a way to be able to sort of say g'day to someone for the first time and then get on stage and play with them.
I think that's so important.
For with blues especially.
Musicality.
Yeah, I think it just gives it a freshness.
Yeah.
And I'm mindful nowadays too that people are seeing you more than once.
Yeah.
And I just like the idea. I love Frank Zappa, and his ethos was always, yes, certainly there's structure, but within that, I mean, he's famously, you know, quoted as saying, when he leans into a solo, he doesn't know what he's going to do. And that's how I kind of feel,
Yep.
you know, like it's like, you know where the boundaries are and you know what is going to happen,
Yep.
but what happens minutely could be different every single day. And I love that,
Yeah.
you know, and sometimes when you get really comfortable with players too, like we kind of push each other and we'll do things on stage that we know the others don't know you're going to do. But we do it with real enthusiasm.
Yes.
And so everybody just gets a real kick out. It's like, what? Okay, bang, and now we're doing that. That's great, you know? And so it'll produce something that wasn't there before, you know?
Yeah.
So even though, there's more structure with the band, it's still a jam band that I love. I love that aspect of it, you know what I mean? But the thing I really love about solo is, and we were talking about it before we were recording, is when you're fleshing out new ideas, if you want to cut something short, add an extra verse, take away this, you can do it in real time as a solo artist and kind of go, that works, that didn't work, you know what I mean?
Yep.
And that's what I love about playing solo. And also the dynamics, and I like to talk during shows, but I can't, there isn't as much space to talk with a band gig.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the energy's a little bit different.
Yeah, absolutely.
Whereas with solo shows, I love breaking down after a song and sort of talking for a few minutes about a story, an idea, and then playing the song, and it just carries so much more weight. And the lyrics, I think, cut through more solo. Yeah. And people actually can connect with the song in a slightly different way.
Yeah.
So
there's less energy, or there's less other things to kind of get distracted from.
Yeah.
Like that, you know, if you see a rockin' band, you can't help but, like, you know, dance on the inside.
Absolutely.
And your brain isn't as attuned to lyric if you're kind of having a boogie, you know?
Absolutely, man.
Whereas if you're sitting down and you're intently
Yep.
focusing on one person and one instrument, the nature of that is the lyric.
It is.
Like, that's the focus.
It is.
And then the acoustic or the whatever instrumentation is under that lyric,
It's just supporting it. Yeah, it's just supporting it, man.
Well, the water's rising 6 foot on the ground. I said the water's rising 6 foot on the ground. Oh, look for you, baby, you ain't nowhere to be found. Said the water's rising, the same baby in my door. I said the water's rising, the same baby in my door. Oh, look for you, baby, ain't around here no more.
And lyrics are so, I don't know, like everyone's different. Some people are music people, some people are lyric people. I've always been a real lyric person. So the artists I like, you know, I listen to what they're saying usually more than what they're playing.
Yeah.
But I like we said earlier, I would struggle if I had to choose just playing with a band or just playing solo. I love the fact that I'm able to do both.
Yeah.
And I mean, this is a perfect example up here with Broadbeach, where they've asked me to do both on the same weekend, which is just great. You know, normally I kind of do a few weeks of solo, I'll do a couple of weeks with the band, and but this is perfect, you know. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So cool. And you've got an interesting few guitars. I've noticed when you're on stage, you know, when you walk around the blues festivals, you see Strats, Tellys, 335s. But you've got a nice take on the classic guitars. Like I noticed you're playing. Is it like a Harmony or a Silvertone, like old sort of Sears catalogue guitars? Yeah.
So I just picked that one up from Nashville in January. It's a 1960 Harmony Stratotone.
Stratotone, yeah.
I love that era of guitars. So this weekend I've got that, and I've got a really nice Japanese late 60s, like a 335 copy. I've never been a big name person. Like I've got a US telly that I bought when I was like 22.
Okay.
You know, that was kind of the Wayne's World Holy Grail moment, and I wanted to buy a telly.
Yeah.
Telly was my guitar when I was growing up, and that. But otherwise, yeah, I've got a couple of nice 1940s Harmony, a Stella Parlor acoustic that's a 40s model as well. And yeah, I like guitars that give me a bit of a challenge too, you know. Like I'll play some guitars and not you know, supporting or not supporting certain brands or whatever, but I've played some really expensive so-called, you know, Holy Grail guitars, and just kind of thought, oh, it's good, but is it $5,000 good or $10,000 good? I don't think it is. And or like, you know, I've had a few mates play PRS guitars over the years, and I just find that they are so refined that I struggle to be kind of dirty and rough with them.
Yes.
Like they're just so refined, and for certain players they're perfect guitars, right? Because they're so well crafted and so well balanced, but I just get on there and kind of, I'm almost fearful of hurting it. You know what I mean? Like I want a guitar that I can really dig into and something that's got mojo, you know? And so I like a lot of the older guitars. I like offbeat things, you know.
It's great.
Yeah, Japanese stuff in particular I really dig. 60s stuff I really like.
Yeah, Tesco, guide tone.
Yeah, all of that. Yeah.
Stuff.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah, I must admit I'm in the same sort of camp. I do have a couple of nice bigger brand guitars, which I sold. You know, like the Blues Brothers, you know, you sold the caddy for a microphone.
Yeah.
You know, I sold my Chevy and bought a few nice guitars.
Yeah.
But yeah, the ones that I cling to, especially if I'm not traveling, because they don't, I suppose I'm a bit cautious, you know, putting a nice guitar in a case and flying it across the world.
I know.
But when I'm at home, I've got a nice few old boxes I love to get out.
Man.
You know, and
every guitar's
and fight
got
with, you know, the
exactly.
tolerance. And each thing brings out a different part of you.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah, I'm not the most cleanest player either. Like I feel that I need to have a bit of fight.
100%. Yeah, like I'm no shredder, man. Like I feel like I play guitar to support what I'm saying, rather than I'm a guitarist, you know. Like I don't think of myself as, you know, like I've worked hard on being the only guitar player in the band, so more my rhythm than anything else, and just holding that. And I think the jam band period meant that I had to make sure that the rhythm was solid so that everybody could at least have that to follow. And so I've worked on that a fair bit, but I'm no shredder, man, and I just like a guitar that has mojo, you know, like this 335 thing I've been playing, and you know, like I literally paid $250 for it, right? Like you can't make it up, right? But it's got so much mojo. Like, I mean, as recently as last night, the soundy was like, you know, frothing over this guitar, and I'm like, it's like a $250 guitar, man. Like, no, and that's the thing. Like, to me, they have this status, but to a lot of people, they don't. Some of the Tiescos and some of the Grecos have now become quite sought after, and they're a bit pricier, but for the most part you can pick up Tiesco for under $1,000.
Oh, absolutely.
Right, easily. You know, and yet they've got so much mojo, man. You know, and those gold foil pickups and, oh man, just so good, you know. So to me it's like they're not expensive. I love the way they feel. They look funky and cool, and it's a bit different. Like you said, you walk around a festival and it's Strats and Tellys and, you know, Les Pauls and 335s. And so it's like, actually they're unique, they're interesting, they're quirky. I love everything about them, man. It's cool. Yeah, and they bring out different parts of your playing, I think, too. Like, because they are a bit limited, like, some of them might have, say, a dead spot on the 8th fret or something like that, or they feedback at certain volumes. So I guess, they just have a certain quality, and you respond to that quality, and if it's not what you need, you pick up the other one that costs you $250. Exactly, and character says a lot, man. Like, like you said, like certain guitars have got little quirks about them that you get to understand and know, you know.
Yeah.
And it's interesting too when you're in a situation where, you know, someone else, like you sort of hand someone your guitar at a gig for a jam or whatever, and they kind of like go, okay, this is a bit different, like, and you realise, you know, that you form this relationship with the guitar and it becomes a part of you, you know what I mean? And you don't know that it's subconscious that you're actually playing through and around all those quirks in that particular guitar.
And probably songs are written, you know, without you thinking about it, within the boundaries of the sound or the capability of that instrument.
Definitely, man. Yeah. And that's another aspect that I really love. And amps too, like it's all about that combo, you know. Like I've just recently, well, you played it. You were the first person that played that Tone Master of mine. So I crossed over to the dark side with digital amps. So that's been interesting. It's been interesting. Yeah. But I, you know, I love nothing more than a nice 50s, 60s amp. Yeah. Oh man, cranked. Just can't beat it.
It's a vibe.
It's such a vibe.
Yeah.
I mean, when I first started with this, doing the Sinister Kids stuff in 2011, I bought a pair of Coronet transistor Japanese amps. Yeah. And they weigh like, you know, 5 or 6 kilos. Yeah. They're like thin wood. They've got like 8-inch speakers and they're transistor. And I used to use 2 of them. And I mean, they both blew up in the end.
Right.
But I still miss that.
Yeah.
And it's weird. People, transistor, no, that's, you know, sacrilege. But if you combine the guitar, the amps, the right moment, the right place, like it just can work, man.
Well, there's no wrong
there isn't.
bunch of ingredients.
There isn't at
everything
all.
works
There's
in
no
the right
rules.
situation.
Yeah.
Like I love using, say sometimes in the studio, like I'll use like, you know, those little Marshall Stack 9-volt amps. Like I'll use one of those, then I might mic it up with a baby monitor and then like stick the speaker out there. So you've got this like awful, like on paper this looks like the worst signal chain in the world, but you know, it's got something.
It's the moment.
And you play to it.
You play to it, that's the key.
And all of a sudden you're not, you know, sounding like Clapton anymore. You're sounding like, I don't know.
You.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing too that I think is absolutely true, man. Regardless of the guitar, regardless of the amp, at the end of the day, we all sound like us.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter, really. Like we become attached to things. We, you know, obviously, you know, you do prefer certain things. But at the end of the day, if you pick up a guitar in a shop and play it, you really sound like you. You know, like it is all in the hands.
Absolutely.
You know?
Yeah.
So it's more about attachments and forming a really good attachment and bond with a guitar, you know what I mean? And writing songs, for me, once a guitar's been written with, it's a keep, like, you know what I mean? It's for life, you know? Like I find that even more important than the gigs I play with the guitar, you know? Like, because sometimes I don't always write on acoustic. I don't know, do you always write on acoustic or?
Not necessarily. No. I don't really have a strict, it's just whatever I have at the time that's going to fulfill that.
Yeah. But do you write with the tone in mind?
I kind of do.
I do.
Yeah.
That's why for me I write on different guitars because I feel as though the tone and the vibe of it
helps you get to that.
It helps me get to where it
point.
Needs to be. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I do sort of think backwards a bit in that regard, writing as well. Like sometimes I'll have the whole song there and I'll sort of work from the mix back. It's like, all right, cool.
Yes.
All I need now is lyrics.
Yeah.
Or a groove or something, you know. Like
I do that quite a bit.
Yeah,
where I'll write the music first, and what I'll do is, because I record at home as well, I've been recording at home for 15 years, is work on the music and then just literally play it back on repeat.
Yeah.
Put on a pot of tea or a coffee or whatever, lay down on the lounge and just listen to it for an hour.
Great.
Which sounds weird, but all of a sudden then the ideas start to flow and the phrases start to come out. And I do tend to also do a little bit of that sort of nonsense noodling with shapes of words.
Yeah.
And then it'll form a word and an idea will come from that.
Yep.
But yeah, I like the idea of having the music done, or even like I use the looper at home a lot.
Yep.
Where I'll just put a groove down, an idea down, and then listen to it and start writing. Yeah. Rarely do I write away from the music. Occasionally, if I'm, my phone's become a little note keeper on my phone's become a bit of a thing where, and it's usually someone says something, or I hear something on the TV, or I see something happening, and I'll just go, I'll just jot that down, just jot that down quickly. It's a line usually, no more than a line, or even a word, or a funky street name, or and I'll just jot it down, and then when it's time to write, there's kind of these lists of key words,
I find myself doing the same, because as much as I'd love to be that guy who wakes up every day and writes a song a day, that would be a dream, but life gets in the way, and I find myself doing the same, having a little compiled notes section on my phone, and today's writing day, so you sit down and all of a sudden you've got a song that you've kind of half written because you've got all these little jots of inspiration.
Exactly, and imagery, man. Like for me, I need to see something almost to write about it, and it comes to me. Like I don't think I've ever woken up and gone, I'm going to write today. It'll be just like, what? Okay, that's an idea. Oh crap! Okay, now it's starting to flow. Okay, everything else aside, I'm doing this for the next few hours, and it just sort of it comes to you, Magic.
Eating cold pizza in the nude while she's looking out the window to the Las Vegas sunrise. Sphere changing colors every day, something new. We're on a band of baby. Texas homes. Oh, baby, they sound so good. And Tinsley took the cake, baby, with his blues and the moon. The pool was so cool after I did my blues.
It's pretty special, when you think about, something not existing, and then a couple of hours later, there it is, and it's something.
I think it's fascinating.
Magic, man. It's so good.
Especially when you hear interviews with, people who have written a song that's gone bonkers, like an absolute hit, and half the time they know it. They're like, this is a
you hear that a lot, don't you?
But then the other side of the coin is like, they had no idea. They're just like, I just have to write this song. So you go and you get it done.
What is it, because I've often thought about that, There is something, some formula, something special that sets aside what, as a collective, people seem to say that is a good song. They connect to it, they relate to it, and then another song, and people will just go, okay, and never listen to it again. It's something you can't really put your finger on, and yet we know it instantly. That's the magic for me.
It's so bizarre. Why and how? It really is bizarre. Is it the combination of the lyric and the music? All of a sudden they just click? Like if you had different chords or in a different key, would it be the same?
Would it be the same? Yeah, exactly. And the story, if something is emotive to you, then there's a good chance it's going to be emotive to other people, right? I think that's the thing with music is that it unifies in a lot of ways, a lot of ways.
Yeah, I think it's a wonderful. I just love to hear people's story, and that's probably part of what this podcast for me is about. I'm not really the talker. I don't walk around venues and hang out with people and just talk for the sake of it. I'm kind of the guy who sits at the back of the room and analyses everything.
Yeah.
So this has been really nice for me to get some conversations from people about different takes on
Yeah.
on the guitar, right? Like the guitar is the thread, and I think there are so many ways that we all have that in our life, and I think it's fascinating. So yeah, thanks for bringing your conversation to the party.
Thank you, man. I appreciate. Yeah, it's nice to be asked. It's cool. It's nice, and I think it's good to just have like-minded talks.
Yeah,
and we do this all the time. It's actually great to log it and to share it, because we have these conversations very often amongst ourselves, amongst other musicians, like it's great, it's good.
Yeah, and I think it's important. Like, I don't feel like I'm Alan Lomax or anyone, like, discovering, and
you're archiving something though, man.
Yeah, I feel like
it's good.
Doing a bit for the music community.
Yep.
And I've recently, because my dad has a local band and they've been playing for like 25, 30 years, a long time. And they recorded their last record at my house. And I feel that I'm doing a duty. It's like I'm capturing a picture of my dad's band at that particular time. Like, I'm not there to break any sonic boundaries or to overproduce anything. I'm just going snap, snap, snap.
Yep.
And I feel that, songs, conversations, all this stuff is so relative to that.
It is.
And I think people, even if they're not musicians, love to get a little bit of insight.
They do.
Because, we see the personalities through our phones of who the artist wants you to be or whatever, or wants to be known as. But it's nice to get a little behind the cracks, get in a bit and...
Yeah. And it is, and for me, one of the biggest buzzes is when somebody reaches out about a particular song that, like not a musician, a listener, and be like, that song really got me because that's my story, that happened to me, or I really related to that helped me. Like they're the messages where I just go, oh, this is great, this is real, it's connecting, and and I think because we're fans too. We started as, we were all teenagers who fell in love with an artist or a song, or and it's kind of special to be on the other side of it sometimes, and actually be, I don't know, the world's such a crappy place. Like, we're actually doing something positive, like at the very least that is magic. You know what I mean? Yeah.
To feel that you've help someone through something, or
right, inadvertently, you didn't do it with any purpose. Yeah.
Which
is even more special.
Getting on with your day and writing a song, or just being creative and filling that void that you need to. So to hear positive stories like that, or you've inspired someone to pick up a guitar, or to just go and see more live music.
Exactly.
Like the whole thing's a wonderful
thing. It is.
Before we go, I want to just quickly chat about, so you were talking about when you were living in Kiama and putting on shows. I noticed it's not just the Jazz and Blues Festival that you helped curate a particular stage or two for, but you've been doing other events too, right? You've been putting on multi-band nights. Is that something that you sort of felt you're giving back to the community a little bit, or kind of like including other artists?
All of the above, man. Like, so when I first moved down there, like, I would meet locals who'd lived there, all their lives, and I'd always be told how Kiama was a gig town going back to the 80s and 90s, and bands would come through on their runs and play in Kiama, and there were venues that were now like restaurants that used to be band venues, in the 80s and 90s. And it was like, I got there and there was like not much going on musically, man, Covers band on a Saturday night at the Bolo or whatever, at the Leagues Club. And so I was like, well, we should really be doing something here. And it started by actually jamming with some local players that I met. And we started doing a thing at the Grand Hotel on a Tuesday night. No fanfare, just getting together. And people just started coming to it, and then there's a great little venue in Kiama called Finding Fillmore's. And so it was about just helping everything start to gel, and the Bolo wanted to do more original stuff, so we got something rolling there. And all of a sudden there were blues gigs happening in Kiama again. And I was like, well, this is great. This is what it used to be like, And you even run into players, older players, who were like, yeah, we used to play in Kiama. we're playing in Kiama again. That's great. You know what I mean? And so it was about that and the community and getting behind all of that. And then I started putting together my little multi-bill things. I call it Blues Bash. We've done a bunch of those. They do really well.
Yeah.
And so it's just been about building that community there, man, you know?
It's so important.
It is.
I think, you know, it's easy to take, you know, like you get a gig, you just sort of follow on with that. But to actually celebrate the community that we have and to sort of like honour, you know, it's a feel-good thing, right?
It is.
To not only, well, obviously, you know, if you give yourself a gig, that's great too. That's not the purpose, intended purpose. It's like, let's celebrate, let's all get together.
Yep.
And especially within the place that you spend your days.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, I think that's important. I know a lot of people could learn from that.
Yeah.
Not just musically, but just like from any aspect.
It's true.
If you can bring a passion or a hobby to some sort of communal level and share it with people, I think that's...
Yeah, I think it's really important. I think with the blues scene, we're pretty lucky. Like, I think it's... And I mean, I'm biased, obviously, because I've been immersed in it for, you know, over a decade, but I think it's a grassroots kind of community and it's a scene. Like, it's actually a scene and it's positive. The punters are as integrated with the players more so than a lot of other genres. There isn't as much of the smoke and mirrors and the artists are there and the punters are there. Yeah. It's very much a mixed thing, you know, and it's as much about seeing those same faces at the gigs and catching up with people as it is about playing the music.
Yep.
You know, and giving artists a chance to be in front of different people. And you know, I love, like, and that's something I noticed too. Everyone's always talking about a guy they saw play the other week. You've got to catch this guy, he's great, you know. And like, there's a lot of talk about Stefan Hawke here this weekend, you know. People have been talking about him for the last, 6 or 8 months, you know. And it's like, you've got to see this guy, you've got to see this guy. And that's, I think in other genres they tend to be a bit more cutthroat. Whereas I think we actually genuinely celebrate each other here.
Yeah.
You know, like, and there doesn't seem to be as much of the ego. And the ones that have the ego, I think they kind of, they fall off. Yeah, they fall off, man, you know, and I really like that. And even just people that are doing good things in the community, you know, like what we did in Kiama was really, really nice. But then, you know, in Sydney, since I've been back in Sydney now for the past 6 months, I've been reconnecting because I'm from Sydney.
Sure.
And Paul Blasy's doing some great things at Miss Seeley's, you know, like, you know, on the Thursday night jam, I try to go every 2 or 3 weeks, pop in, do a couple of songs, catch up with people. Yeah. It's a hub, it's becoming a hub, you know, and that's what it's all about. You know, Wixie, Ben does some great stuff in Melbourne. Yep. You know, there's people doing good things in their communities, man, and I think we all need to just celebrate that more, you know?
Yeah, there's no excuse. Like, I think it's a healthy thing to do. To just to give back a bit and
Absolutely.
Just to help our industry survive. You know, it's not going to do it without support from punters or musos. Like, it needs to be a full circle.
And I think it's really great that it's that authentic. That's what the blues was always about.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, all genres have that level of community or whatever, but blues is really about that. Yeah. You know, and I love that we're carrying that. It's great.
Well, them howling dogs, they just keep yapping at my feet. All them howling dogs, they just keep yapping at my feet. And you just keep praying, oh Lord, not me. All them howling dogs, they just keep knocking at my door. All them howling dogs, just keep knocking at my door, my door. And you just keep praying, oh Lord, not me.
And you go to the States, like I've gone to the States a bunch of times, and the punters there are the same as here. The bands are the same. They're all supporting each other. You know, so I think there is a type.
Yeah.
You know, with the blues scene, and I really enjoy it. I feel welcomed and comfortable and positive. You know.
Great. Excellent, man. Well, I reckon we'll wrap it up for today.
Thank you.
I know you got a bunch of shows this weekend. I've got a couple on myself. And just looking at the ocean, it's so distracting. I wouldn't mind going to dip my toe.
I know, right? No, it's not a bad spot to have a festival.
I like it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not somewhere I'd live.
Nah. You've done this. You've done Broadbeach before or not?
We probably did like the first 10 in a row, like 20 odd years ago, probably even longer ago.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
So we were part of the foundation. Hadn't played here for a long time. It's probably been 10 years since we've been here.
Wow.
We were booked for the COVID one that got cancelled.
Yep.
And haven't been back. So,
It's a great one, eh? It's really good.
It's a lot of fun.
Really
it's easy. You just wander around. And like you said, you just get to catch up with people in the street.
Yeah, it's great.
And it's really good.
Thanks for having me, man. I really appreciate it. It was good fun.
Thanks, Frank. All right, man.
Cheers.
Cheers.
See you later.
Thanks for listening, folks, to another episode of Say It With Guitars. If you enjoyed today's episode, please subscribe to the podcast, share it around to your mates, leave a good review, and hopefully we'll see you next time.